Former Commanders defensive end Montez Sweat says the Washington Commanders gave up on him. Let's talk about it.
How I feel? Left. What I want?
Get back slow. I love the way she rock it. I love the way she move it, shake it on me. When she cry for him, the shawty is the winner. You can tell that shawty's no beginner. She's confident.
YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here. We on the Washington Commanders video. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about former Washington Commanders defensive end Montez Sweat talking about how he believes the Washington Commanders gave up on him. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. But before we do, make sure you guys go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload new videos like this to the channel. We're on the road to 8,000 subscribers, so please make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and help me get there as soon as possible. It'd be greatly appreciated. Also, don't forget to use my promo code JGTS on SeatGeek to get $20 off your first purchase. Alrighty, y'all, let's get straight to it. So, Montez Sweat recently opened up about his trade with the Washington Commanders. Let's hear what he had to say. So he says this, and I quote, "I was shocked. I was very emotional. I was angry and probably said some things I wanted to take back. I felt like somebody kind of gave up on you. It felt like somebody kind of gave up on you, like you weren't good enough anymore." One more time from Montez Sweat. "I was shocked. I was very emotional. I was angry and probably said some things I wanted to take back. It felt like somebody kind of gave up on you, like you weren't good enough anymore." Now, let's see what he probably could be talking about, right? Obviously, he's talking about the trade, but saying some things that he probably wish he could take back. He probably cursed out the coaching staff. He probably cursed out Jack Del Rio. You know what I'm saying? He probably was flipping out, which is rightfully so. Because if you go back to that time period, right, when the trade deadline was approaching, we always thought it was going to be one or the other. We always thought it was going to be Chase Young or Montez Sweat. And majority of our fan base, including myself, said we should trade Chase Young because we thought they were going to keep one of them. It was clear as day that Montez Sweat was the better edge rusher, and he was the guy that deserved to get paid last year. And we decided to trade both of them. I still remember that to this day. It was absolutely crazy. It was crazy because we did both of those guys. We did not think that was going to happen. You know what I'm saying? And we honestly would be better off if we would have paid Montez Sweat. Let's be for real. Like, our edge rushing room right now is kind of trash. Honestly, we have Dante Fowler. We got Cleveland Ferrell. Andre Jones Jr. is there. And a bunch of other guys. You have names, but you don't have nobody like a Montez Sweat caliber, right? Montez Sweat is going to be could have been that leader. Him and Deron Payne were, two guys that worked, really good together. In that second half of the season without Montez Sweat, you can kind of see a dip off with Deron Payne's season. So it definitely for me sucked that we traded Montez Sweat because I thought he was always the one we were going to build around and pay. But I also believe that if this was not the same regime, like if that was this regime last year, this new regime was here last year, we wouldn't have traded both of them. We probably would have just traded Chase Young and built around Montez Sweat. So I definitely understand his frustration with not getting paid, but I do think he is in a better situation. Like, honestly speaking, no Washington Commanders fan bias aside, as much as I would love to have Montez Sweat on this team and would love to keep him, he's in a better situation, to be honest with you, as far as the defense and as far as the things around him on defense and the coaching. You can kind of say maybe Matt Eberflus isn't a better guy than Dan Quinn as far as coaching and scheming goes, but I'm talking about like overall as far as the offense and the defense and the team. I think he's in a better situation, and he's getting way more money than I think this organization was going to be willing to pay him. So it's probably a win for him, but you can understand where he's coming from, where he probably wanted to stay in Washington. This was the team that drafted him. All of his friendships was built here, you know what I'm saying? And he had his kid here too, so he probably wanted to just raise him in one area and then want to have to move, but it's a part of the game. And I think, honestly speaking, like I said before, it worked out better for him because he got a bag from Chicago. The fans love him. He played really good in Chicago last year. The situation is better for the people all around him. The coaching may not necessarily be better again, but the situation around him is better. I would have loved to see if Dan Quinn was able to get his hands on Montez Sweat and see what would be the outcome of that. And maybe Montez Sweat could finally blossom into what we thought he could. But I always said that. Go back to that live stream. I said, I believe Montez Sweat is going to turn up now. He is going to show us why we should have paid him And what happened? He went to Chicago that second half of the season and he turned them up. And that defense is now forced to be reckoned with Matt Eberflus at the helm calling that defense. So yeah, I understand you frustrated, Tez. I am a little bit too, because I didn't want both of y'all to leave. It was either one of y'all, and both of y'all ended up leaving, and now we're in a predicament that we're in, where we have a bunch of guys, but it ain't nobody that's like that scares you. Like, you're not afraid of Dante Fowler, you're not afraid of Cleveland Furr, you're not afraid of Dorrance Armstrong. They're cool, but there isn't no one that's going to give a left tackle, problems all game long. But that's all I really have to say on that. Make sure you guys use my promo code JGTS on SeatGeek to get $20 off your first purchase. Commanders games coming up. You already bought your tickets. Okay, cool. Go ahead, get $20 off your parking so you can know where to park for the cheap. Juan Gotti promo code on SeatGeek. Where do we go from here though, guys? Do we end up signing someone else? Do we end up maybe making a midseason trade? Do we rock out with our edge rushers how they are? Again, we have a bunch of guys, but there isn't no one of Montez Sweat's caliber. So I can understand, like I said, his frustration and your concern with the edge rushing unit if there is any. But Montez Sweat seems like he wanted to be here. He wanted to be here, and that's very rare for our organization. You know what I'm saying? Having guys that typically don't want to play for us. They always are looking for a way out. Like Chase Young, I believe he wanted out. Montez Sweat didn't want out. He wanted to stay here. And of course, maybe it's how it ended too. Like, it was just abrupt. It was at the trade deadline. Maybe if this was just you let him walk in free agency, maybe he isn't feeling no type of way. But you tell a guy that he's getting traded when he probably doesn't expect to get traded, is always gonna throw him off. But again, he's in a better situation in my opinion because he got the money he wanted and he's in a good defensive situation. But again, per Montez Sweat, he felt like the team gave up on him. What says you out there? Leave it down below in the comment section. Do you believe Washington's last regime gave up on Montez Sweat, or do you think it was too good of an opportunity to pass up as far as the compensation that we got back from Montez Sweat and or Chase Young? Let me actually look at that Montez Sweat trade again, trade details for you guys right quick, so I can let you guys know if you forgot. What we did in fact get back from Chicago. Get back in that trade to let me know if you believe it's a good compensation. So the Washington Commanders, remember, we got a 2024 second round pick in exchange for Montez Sweat, and that second round pick ended up being, I want to say, was that Johnny Newton? Was Johnny Newton end up being our second round pick? So if that's the case, if that was our second round pick, then we're gonna have to wait and see if he turns out to be anything, because I have high hopes for Johnny Newton, and I think he's going to be really good. So if we get down a couple years from now and Montez Sweat is killing in Chicago and Johnny Newton is nowhere to be found on this roster, kind of like how Fedarian Mathis is, then we're going to look back on that trading like maybe we should have did it. But if we looking back a couple years and Johnny Newton is absolutely killing it, then you'll be pleasantly surprised with that trade. You know what I'm saying? With us, I guess, satisfied with it. We also got Mike Sanders still that second round pick. And then we got, Ben Sinnott in the second round. So we had 3 second round picks this past draft. So one of these 3 guys pan out, we'll be happy. But I believe that 36 pick is from Chicago. And we have Jerzon Newton. So, hey, let me know what y'all think about it down below in the comment section. Montez Sweat was frustrated and he was upset with Washington trading him. He felt like we gave up on him. And again, I'm not gonna fault no man for feeling that way because this last regime did not know what they were doing. Montez Sweat was on the verge of potentially having a breakout year. He went to Chicago second half of the year and he still led us in sacks. He led us and he led Chicago in sacks last year. That should let you know that this defense, this team last year, this regime was absolutely trash. And again, I think this is the year Montez Sweat breaks out. I think he's going to have a Preston Smith kind of impact. Remember, Preston Smith left Washington, went to Green Bay, and absolutely turned up. That's exactly what I said when this trade first happened. I said, I believe Montez Sweat is going to ball out Chicago, and he's going to have a Preston Smith kind of leap. And we're going to look like, man, we should have kept him. Just how we should have kept Preston Smith. Obviously, I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all weren't beating the door down for Preston Smith's return, but it also sucks that why couldn't you do that in Washington? Then you go somewhere else and you blossom. So that's where I think Montez Sweat is headed. And I think it worked out best for him. Yeah, again, you want to be in Washington, but you getting more love from that fan base probably because, you know what I'm saying, they traded for you. They paid you your second contract, so that fan base is probably more loving and supportive than this one, because there were some people that didn't want to pay you in this fan base, and you're in a better situation. So, hey, Tez, I think you're gonna be fine, and I'm gonna always be rooting for you, man. So let me know what y'all think about it down below in the comment section. Former Washington Commanders defensive end Montez Sweat voices his frustration with the trade and says he felt like the team gave up on him. Let me know what you guys think about it down below in the comment section. Again, don't forget to use my promo code JUANGOTTI on SeatGeek to get $20 off your first purchase. I know a lot of y'all are going to Commanders games or even events this summer. Go ahead and get it while it's hot. Y'all have a blessed one. Stay safe. Be easy. Peace.